me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da. Crazy how this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. And I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. That's why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, I'm at Kpeyei's African restaurant on the other side of Providence. And she is right here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kpeyei McCann.
Now, Kpeyei has been here for a while, and this is one of our Liberian restaurants. So, Kpeyei, tell us how long you've been in this spot and why you decided to get into business.
I've been in this spot for 14 years now. I decided to open this restaurant because of helping people, going out and feeding the homeless, and we need a place where the food be cooked. And I opened this restaurant. Since then, I'm still at the same place, 850 Admiral Street.
So how has the community responded to your effort?
Well, the community has responded greatly to my efforts. I successfully feed the homeless, and people have embraced the business, and it led me to move forward to Liberia to open an orphanage for children in Liberia.
Wow, you have an
All
orphanage?
from this restaurant.
You're kidding me.
And because of the customer has been very nice to me and loyal to me, I was able to go to Liberia 3 weeks ago and open an orphanage in my late mother's name, Eugenia Bright.
Where is the orphanage?
In New Jersey, Liberian.
Wow. So what message do you have for your customers?
Well, my customers are very loyal to me, and they are very faithful. They always help me when we're doing the backpack giveaway for children every year, which will soon be coming down end of the month. And then we give the food away, the turkey and chicken in November. And because of the customer, all the tips they leave and all the encouragement help me to promote this business and do what I'm doing moving forward. So I love my customers, I love my neighbors, and I love everybody in general.
We thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you too. Let the people see the delicious food you're fixing here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. We woke up this morning to low 60 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. We expect to go up to the low 80s again today. I didn't listen to see whether there was going to be precipitation or not. So take heed and govern yourselves. If the sun is not up, if it's cloudy all day, take your raincoat and your umbrella. Be on the safe side, okay? Now, I was just listening to the news, and the CDC has reported that this monkeypox virus that's going around, the cases have increased significantly, over 11,000. And there was discussion about vaccines and how accessible they are to the public. So this is the situation right now we're facing. I just hope all of this problem can be alleviated, that vaccines can be widespread and people can have access to them. And we try to put down this other virus or whatever it is. Okay, we don't need nothing else added to our lives since the pandemic. Okay? That's it for this morning. My topics are, you know that I have an exclusive interview with Mistress Yahsyndi Martin-Kpeyei. I just spoke to her, so I expect her to be coming on in a minute. And also my restaurants we're talking about. So let me take a break. Let's listen to our people again. Another restaurant in Rhode Island, and we'll come back and see if Mrs. Kpeyei is on. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Attorney Commander Glapohkpa Chesson, and welcome to my show. This morning, I'm at Toyin African Restaurant in Providence, Rhode Island with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you kindly tell us your name and when you started this business?
My name is Toyin Bankole. This business started in the year 2020 during the pandemic period time. That is when this place was found, and then we started gradually. Now today here we are in Toyin African Restaurant on Broad Street, number 45 Central Street, Rhode Island. The business has been doing fine since we started. Gradually, we are not in a rush. People have to know us first before the business can pick up. But we thank God now that the people have started knowing us, and then the business is picking up.
So it's a bit, I know you just started and you're dealing with the whole Rhode Island community. What about the African community? Do the people know about you?
Yeah. Some African community have known us. So we are still introducing ourselves to the community so that they can know us better. So that's what we are doing right now. We printed our flyers, we printed the business card, then we have the signposts, we have everything to show that we are here, right here on 45 Central Street, Broad Street.
So what would you like to say to people on my show?
Yeah, I would like to say hi to everyone, my African people, both Liberia, Nigeria, Senegal, those all part of Africa that are coming to eat here. It's not only Africa. We see a lot of white people trying to eat this my egusi soup with pounded yam. We eat like this. Some will come here, I teach them how to eat it. They will come here, they will use the left right to cut the fufu and use the right hand to make soup. No, I tell them no, this is how to cut the fufu. Then you put the pounded yam, not fufu. It's pounded yam, you put it in egusi soup, then you swallow. And it's very beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. I will spread your news around, let the people know about your restaurant. I had cassava leaf and rice here, were very delicious. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Doyen African Restaurant at 45 Central Street in Providence, Rhode Island, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts on Broad Street. You can't miss it. So, thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, we are to introduce you the food that we are having here. This is called fried rice, and that is plantain. We have the cow food, we have the jollof rice, that is Nigerian jollof rice. The Ghanaians, the Sierra Leoneans, every one of them are eating those food. This is the goat meat, and we have beef, we have the tripe, we have turkey, we have spinach, and the egusi soup right here. This is the cassava leaf and palm butter soup for all my fellow Africans.
So you got a little something for everybody.
Everybody.
Thank you very much, Doyen.
Thank you. Thank you.
And good luck with your restaurant.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And they come and help me out every other weekend. I am out here in Roger Williams Park across the street from the tennis court every other weekend, Saturday and Sunday, mostly every single Saturday for the summer, throughout the summer. So this is my small shop. I sell lashes, suitcases with waist beads, lip gloss, lashes, hand link bracelets, waist beads, the lash pouches, I'm making bracelets right now at this moment. I just made 4. And I have a whole bunch of waist beads in this box right here. These are scrunchies. Literally, I have a whole bunch of varieties. Baby bracelets, this is what they look like. Healing bracelets, that's what they look like. And that's pretty much what I sell.
Well, I hope you had a chance to really check out our community businesses I just showed. I just spoke with Mrs. Yahsyndi. She's trying to come on, and probably, I hope she will soon be on. In the meantime, let me fix all this bright light I see behind me here. Oh my, Chrome going crazy. So let me see if I can adjust it. Ah, yes, I should have done that. I hope it stays that way. But, oh Lord. So, okay, I hope it's fixed now. So, as we know, the United States government, the Treasury Department came out with a list of sanctions against Liberian government officials again, 3 of them. So I got the message from Mrs. Kpeyei yesterday. She sent me the post from the Treasury Department stating that Nathaniel McGill, Serena Cephas, and Bill Twelway have been sanctioned by the United States Treasury for corruption and human rights issues. Because when you steal from the people and you are one of the causes for the sufferings of the Liberian people, that's a human rights issue too. It's not only corruption. And the kind of stealing these people did, man. $1.5 million at a port. You buy something, you steal the money, you buy something, and you turn it over to the government again. Mrs. Yahsyndi is on now. Let me just bring her right on so again. Hey, yeah.
Good morning, Randy. How are you, Mr. Chesson? How are you?
Glad to have you on my show this morning.
It's an honor being here.
I know it's tough getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning when you stay up late at night with your show.
No, that's okay. My daughter is usually, because she's a high schooler, she usually up at that time. So we wake up to get her up. But I didn't go to bed early last night. I think the whole excitement from yesterday, I was a little bit exhausted. But it's good to be here.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. What happened yesterday? Unbelievable. So, Yahsyndi, let's get right into the interview. You've been a community leader for Georgia, for the state of Georgia, right?
Right.
Firstly, tell us about yourself and let us know briefly who Yahsyndi really is.
Oh my God. It's hard to talk about yourself. Literally, I grew up in this community. All my adult life, I've been in this community. I participated in supporting my community, even as a young woman, protested young adults or people who were seasoned in the community during the height of the war to have the attention drawn to Liberia, to get people to see our people suffering. If you are here after the 1990s on refugee status, if you were able to go to Europe or you were able to go to Australia, I would say I'm one of those people who help to bring light to your suffering so you can get away. I serve as education chair in my community, as a vice president, as an acting president, as a president. In fact, I was the acting president at the height of the Ebola. And my community was the very first community in America to have brought the highlight on Liberia during the Ebola. It was July 24th, 23rd, when we got a SOS call from Liberia that people are just falling and dying. And they say it's Ebola. And Ebola was not in Liberia, it's supposed to be in Sierra Leone.
Wow.
So the first air that was done, or media coverage that was done, I was actually on that media coverage, which is CNN cover from Nigeria, when Sawyer, the guy who were coming from Nigeria to America, died of Ebola, and CNN carried it. We were on CNNBC. We connected the LACC, is that, yeah, LACC, and then they eventually the health ministry on that line connected them with CNNBC to be able to tell what is happening around and in Liberia, to bring that highlight. I appear on NPR, which would be like one of the largest platform or media radio platform in America. And NPR is an international news broadcasting that it's a legacy company. I appear on our local radio TV here called Channel 57. I think I have a little clip of those. It was not a biggie that time for me. I was serving my country. So we solicited from lots of organizations. In fact, when the media coverage went on, people were reaching out to us, Whole Foods, Costco, and Walmart, to give us, this sanitary stuff like hand sanitizer, Clorox, PPE, and all this. And these things we shipped into Liberia. But as you know, I'm very vocal, being vocal, stand up for my people. And I always say that I didn't do it for the accolade or any of that, but I challenged the Liberian government at that time, which my brother worked for, the and what do you call it, UP government. And I asked the president at the time, why would your country or your child be dying and you leave to go somewhere else and not taking care of that immediate threat? And because of that, I guess the rest of the community in America, who literally came later and they did their part, were recognized. Our community were not recognized because I was too vocal. I was too strong on the president. I was not supposed to speak, although my people were dying. And so that's my service to my country. Even when I was not president in the last Corona, I, in my own little way, gather stuff that I would do normally for older people who can drive, like those things that needed to carry to them, to deliver it to them. Once a leader, you are a leader. Leader is not title, it's attitude. Give me a kiss. You going now? Mm-hmm. Hi, going to school? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's my baby. She's going to school. That's it. Totally distracted. So that was my service to my people. We gather people. In fact, we did the first in its kind. We started recognizing our children that were graduating from high school and colleges. We would have like a program, a little party for them, get together to encourage them to stay the course, talk to them, give them, appreciate them so they can know that they directly represent our community, they impact our community, that they should remember to always pay it forward because it is in the land of plenty. We established what we brought to the table, those who started what became EULA, Lama, or Liberian Association around America or around the world for that matter. And we recognize those people, we give them flat. Those that were still alive, those that were not alive, we brought their family over. We honored them. I will send you some of the tape. Maybe when we do another show later, you can play a piece of that. And it was beautiful. It will forever stay. So because we don't chronicle history as Liberians. But in the future, when we are all gone, when the children come along and those organizations stay as this, somebody will just go and say, YouTube or Facebook, here are the people who established this, what we call today EULA. Although other people are using it now other people did before, but now it's even worse. Use it as a springboard, to go look for a job in Liberia. I don't get it, Mr. Chesson. I don't get it that you live in a land of opportunity. You live in a land of plenty. That the only reason that you support a government is for you to get a job. The only reason that you go to school every day is to leave from Liberia to go to Liberia, leave from America to go to Liberia. There are thousands, millions of jobs in America that is not filled. Why don't you compete here?
Well, you
And
see,
then, why would you want to say you represent the people, but you really don't represent the people? You're representing yourself and your little clique. For instance, maybe I can go to, I mean, is there something else you want to add, or I should continue?
no, I just want to say when you were talking about people who leave here and go to Liberia, people can't stand the challenges of America. Some Liberians come here. I know people who came here, stay 1 week and jump on the plane and went back home and said,
Right,
America too hard, I ain't going to live there. Why? Because they had it easy in Liberia.
right,
And it's going to change because like, our country ain't going to be that easy forever. It's going to
right.
change. It's changing right now. So
Oh, yes.
you highlighted some of the good things that you've done for your community. I'm sure you have some challenges. Tell us about
Mhm.
the challenges.
So let me tell you about the challenges in our community. Our community is literally a microcosm of our larger society, which is Liberia. The corruption, the old boys club, the need for them to, I don't know if I would say to be superior, because most of them don't even know what they're doing to begin with. So I remember, I remember people today, they are supposed to be sister yardis that will come to the community and just insult. They will not pay dues, but they make it a duty once a month. Come to the meeting just to disturb. I remember, and I will call names here, or just I remember there's one lady who later became president, and I brought her to the community. She has met me running campaign, 2014. She's go to my cousin and say, I like her, I love her tenacity, I like to join, I like to support her, supported me. And then when I was running for president, although she didn't qualify, she decided she would run. And
Challenge you.
yes, she decided she would run. And I told the people, but she does not qualify. She have not been here according to the constitution, the timeline that she's supposed to be here to qualify. But because one of the commission used to live with her, and the pastor, I don't know what she gave them, okay, the pastors decided, because for me, I'm vocal. And I challenged them. I don't get into the corruption and stuff. So I don't even care they like me. I'm not going to use that word. So they have problem with themselves. So, and in fact, during my reign, that lady will collect people, bring them to the community center that we had. In fact, we got a community center. The president at the time, believing that these people would be able to upkeep the community center. When the people will not pay their dues,
Hmm.
they will. In fact, we have program. We have programs at the center, adult literacy. We will call people whose children were struggling and say, "Can you bring the children to the center?" Or either the child is babysitting, or they can't bring the child because they are working double, or they will be working and they won't show up. Even we have free, at the schools, you have to pay for, I think you get one SAT free and the rest you got to pay for it. We were doing SAT prep for the children to make sure they enter the best colleges. They will not show up. So now 2, 3 children. We will have program the day we decide we want to have program in the center. That when this so-called group, okay, Sumo and her group, we have party the same day. They will wait till we plan program, and we have program the same day to counter, because she didn't win an election, right? And we could not pay the center. In fact, from the time we enter, the first 30 days or 90 days, we could send it. We pay for it. But from there on, the whole year that we were there, Alexander Cummings have to help us pay, at least, if not all of it, most of it. Even I have to write a check. At one point, I believe I have to write like $1,500 check. I had to beg people to pay for the utility. But every Monday we come to that center to make flour. So I look at it one day and I said, this does not make sense. If you have a house you don't live in, you have a house you can't pay for, why would you have the house? And
Yeah.
then the people were getting noticed to leave the place because we're renting. And one day, my husband looked at me and said to me, but yeah, this is not your house. This is the community house. Why would it be you alone shoulder that it leans on? And the people will not come only on meetings day to disturb. Okay. And so I wrote because Alexander Cummings was the chair of the advisory board at that time. No, Mr. No, Kennedy was, but Mr. Cummings was already in Liberia. So I wrote a letter to him explaining and giving where we took over. When we took over, the community were in $9,000 negative.
Wow.
My particular inauguration was, if not the biggest inauguration in the history of Liberian community. I have over 500 guests. Okay, we raised tens of thousands of dollars, the first time of its kind.
Wow.
That money ended up going into back payment. So Cummings called me that day. I think we were like $11,000 in the negative or behind. And he said, because the rent used to be like around 7,500. And he said, yeah, I promised to support the community. Do you want me to pay this rent? So I asked him, I said, so if you pay this rent this month and pay next month, who's going to pay it the month after?
That's true.
So I asked him, I say, in business, what I understood is there's certain thing called sunk costs. Those were my exact word. There's certain investment that you make that you have to count your loss. That's why you see businesses, when you come up with maybe a brand of business, they write it off or they cut it off because they see that it's taking money from the organization. So you have to you got to innovate or you got to phase it out. I say this need to phase out because this is the putting money in the drawer bucket that is leaking and you're not taking it. If the Liberian serious, and this was supposed to have been a pilot program, we practiced this, and this man used to tell us, your thing, big thing, really big. If we can get this, we can take care of this, and we can hold together, we can get our own building. We couldn't do it. So I told him, I'm saying, okay, let me throw a challenge out to the community. If they can raise half of the money, bear in mind you at the time we had 23,000 Liberians here. This is not Liberians with, I'm not talking about Liberian, our children that are grown. I'm talking about Liberian with Liberian passport who came to this country. 23 plus more thousand here. And I said, if each of us give $1, we can pay for the place and buy our own place. So that without 2 weeks, we had a big old announcement going for everybody to come to the center to raise money. You know how much we raised? $300. That was time for me to tell you it was time to go. You know, people came to me and say, Yahsyndi, it will go on your knee. I said, no, we're not. You have to know when to say it is it. My people are suffering. I need to take a step back. We need to take a different approach. We need to downsize. So we did. And I told people, this is not my house. This is our house. If we look at it as our house, if we look at Liberia as our country, if we look at the people as our people, put ourselves in our shoes, we would behave differently. But the new breed of Liberian community, and there's so many very people that I brought on board. They didn't say they wanted to be when you say, and I brought them, introduced them. For me, I think leadership is about using your presence, your goodness to make other people make people better. It's not for you to come. It's not a position to say you do this. They say power is not taking, but it's giving. And it's given from the people, by the people.
For the people.
Instead, let me come to your city, Rhode Island, this weekend. Why would Nathan-Kpeyei, who came to this country from behind rebel line, Nathan-Kpeyei, who people went to look for that was so afraid and brought to this country during the wartime, who understood what is war like, to have war. He was not a kid when he came to this country. He was a big boy. He knows the pain our people felt. You know his family that were in Africa, how many years they were there for. He came here. God have mercy on him. People saw virtue in him and brought him not only to represent the American community, but to be a voice at the table for the immigrant community
Yeah.
based on the legacy his mother and father and his siblings, the life that they led in that community. How dare him bring somebody that Koji? Now shame on him. I'm sending the report, the human rights report, the sanction report to his school. We are calling them, and we called.
But we
And
heard
we
that.
called, huh?
We heard that he went and joined CDC.
Yes, he went and joined CDC.
I
Y'all
don't,
need to stand. He needs to be voted out. Listen,
well,
we
I don't
know
know. I don't know if
better.
it is the law now where you are represented in your state. Then you can go to another country and join a political party in that country.
A political party that is prosecuting Liberian.
Yeah, then you
Okay,
come here and
I'm
be
sending those things to and you know, Randy, let me tell you thank you because that noise that you made, it made plenty of people now to go. They were calling people to threaten them, and I'm calling this little boy who called and threatened my people, and some of them didn't make it over there. And I wish the time was not so short because we didn't find it out till Wednesday. We thought we could make the calls. Yes, I made the call. I call around, people give me information. I reach out to, I think I told you I'm not going to call a name on here. I reach out to other lawmakers in your state, and they were so receptive. And they're not even Liberians, Americans. I reached out to a very powerful young Liberian woman, okay, who is known in the community, who can just pick up the phone and call the governor's office. I called lawmakers in America, in your area, to tell them, and then they asked me for proof. I sent them the proof, and the people said they're not going. The mayor didn't show up, the governor didn't show up, and our work was done. Okay, and our people show up.
now it's a
Okay,
shame
as
on
I will show
you.
up, you know, some ladies drove in from different state. They came and they show up, and Jefferson Koji was standing there like a wet dog. Okay, we put the stray dog in the zoo because our zoo, all of them belong in. I heard one of them saying, "We come to the other to one of the women that were protesting. You come to Liberia, we'll jail you, put her in jail. You will go to jail a lifetime, or you'll be prosecuted
Will they
because
be
you're."
there? Will they be there when she go to Liberia?
I told somebody, I said somebody will win this election.
Yeah,
We will not be because
will they be in power when she go to Liberia?
yes,
Will she be? Will they
yes,
be in power?
and then yes, Randy, yes. Give me
So
1 second. Let me get my other phone so I can share. Somebody hacked into my account yesterday. I can't get back into my account for some reason. Okay, hold on.
well, why are you doing that? Let me put on an ad for the then you come
Oh,
back.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I can hear you. I just needed to get some phone so I can share. Okay, here I am. I'm back. Sorry. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm listening. What's your
So
next question?
after we discuss all of this, how would you describe the leadership of Liberian community people? I mean, you said we're a microcosm of the same thing in Liberia. But breaking it down, how you really would describe?
Majority of them are fraud. I'm saying it. Majority of them, the goal of a senator is not to serve the community, is to come and use it to leverage positions in Liberia, to go and steal. Most of them have no vision. And majority of our people, because the thing is, so people only know what they know. If you come in and you're strong and you're trying to lay a foundation and be upright, they will undermine you, they will fight you. Okay. And like I was saying with Nathan served in the community. Nathan was the board chair of UNICO, the United Nima Citizen Council. Okay. Nathan did that. Nathan and they both Nathan, the other Nathan that they did, Nathan Nangbe Lachua, who is in the U.S. service as a serviceman. Printing a man who is the tyrant, a man who is a dictator, the man who is annihilating people, who is known. Okay, I have video where Jefferson Koji, security, because somebody parked in front of his fence. Can you imagine that little twitch? This little twitch who were homeless just yesterday. This little twitch who were living in somebody one bedroom yesterday, giving an opportunity to serve, have become a Lord. I hear people calling him Lord Mayor. Who made him Lord? What the hell is Lord Mayor?
That didn't be it me, Lord Mayor.
Okay.
That be it and we call him Lord Mayor.
But in order, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you to the people of Rhode Island. You know, I got on the air and I said to in fact, you know, they've been hiking my system. They don't want me to talk. It's been hiking.
Before you came on, they just hacked my computer. I had to call McAfee to clear up.
Oh wow!
I couldn't get my internet. I couldn't get McAfee, and then they always do it to me to keep me off the air.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we ourselves have to rethink how we choose our leaders. We have to rethink as Liberian how we choose our leaders in our community, because we choose people based on likeness. We don't choose them based on and our older people, because they can give them dollar here and dollar there. Our pastors, when I was a leader in the community, a particular church, and the pastor after service, because they said they didn't like themselves, because they would pack up the whole church to come to the community center to disturb. Some of them would come with their wives and their children. In fact, I remember this particular lady who wanted the position so badly that I told them that you can keep this thing, I got to keep it going. Now people can come in, but Madam President, we didn't know you were this, we didn't know you were this. I said, but you never gave me an opportunity. You never even want to listen to me. You didn't even want me to breathe. Some of you, if you had the opportunity to kill, you would have killed me. So what are you talking about? You didn't know I was this, I was that. So if you have somebody, a Nathan Lechore, you know, and he said he served the community, but he tells me he didn't know what was going on in Liberia. And I asked him a question. I said, Mr. Lechore, you are the board chair for the Liberian community in Rhode Island. He said, yes. And I said, that's what you say you are. I said, yes. I said, you don't know what is happening in Liberia?
That's a lie.
I say, if you represent the Liberian people, you are supposed to be like a middle door. You're supposed to know what is going on in Liberia, or make it your business to know and know what is going on in the Liberian communities in and around America, around the world, and that of the one in your community here in America. So how in heaven you telling me you don't know? So over what, 300, 400, 500 people call him, and this boy is asking them to send him proof. Then he texted me to tell me to send him proof. I didn't even text him back. When I call him and say, you want me to send you proof? You have 200, 300 people sent you the same thing. You go fetch for it. If somebody say the guest you're bringing to your place has a record, any sound leader will go and do their own research to find out. And you're sitting on your butt and telling us to send you proof. They don't stand for the country. Most of them come to use their position, saying they're representing the people, to speak for themselves, to find greater or seek and greener pasture. That release the thing. But if you are in the way I tell people in Liberia, majority of the people who are doing well in America will not just pack and come to America, Liberia. They will not do it.
Oh.
And two, majority of the people who are doing well in Liberia, in America, they will not come to Liberia and be snarly and try to steal and try to demean you and make you feel that, because for you to make it in America, you have to pay your dues. So America has a way of harming people if you want to be humble.
So let's talk about Liberia now, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Because we know that some of the same problems we're facing in this country comes from people leaving here, going home to serve too. And most of the people in our community right now have not even been to Liberia. Most of them were born here in America.
Yeah.
When they were small and went to school.
Yep.
So they talk like they've been in Liberia, that they participated in Liberian politics, but most of them haven't. You know, and it is strange because You can sit here and talk all you want to talk, but when you are faced in Liberia with a real situation on the ground, it's a different thing. You said how you went there, and it was a whole different thing to you when you got there. The poverty, the standard of living of the people, so terrible. So here we are now. We got all the other criminals being sanctioned by the U.S. government for corruption. What's your take on this?
Well, I anticipated a ran down nation per the conversation we've had, per all the calls that we get daily. You're visible on here. But what I did not anticipate was the level of destitute, the level of hopelessness, the level of fear of even people speaking up when they're being wrong. When a nation suffered 60, 80% unemployment, that nation is actually at a risk. Randy, and this is not to incite, these are facts and documented facts. Majority of the nations that have ousted their leadership, okay, by force were based on economic reason and security. And in fact, economic reason breeds security issue. For instance, literally, you got to keep your windows up in Liberia. The people, they're telling you, hold on to your phone as little as a $10 phone. Hold on to this. You can't wear this. You can't carry pocketbook. You can't. What nation? This is the capital city. My gosh.
That's what they did to you when you went home
Yes.
recently?
Yes. 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 You can't hold your phone in your hand. Somebody's gonna snatch it. You have a bag, they will cut it off for you. I'm told. Those who live there. And you see from what nation, if your biggest worry in this world, in any nation for that matter, Randy, if that is just to find food, if majority of your hours in the daytime is spent on finding food, that nation is doomed.
Yeah, it is, because you can't do no other work.
And moving, and people are just walking. I told people when I was in Liberia, in that area, and I said during the war, which I experienced the war, our biggest problem, we knew we could find food to eat. We could find Baba John. We could find pan cabbage. We could find greens. But the most expensive thing in Liberia is food. And most cannot afford it. People can't even afford to pay their children's school fees. But they tell us they're free education. Randy, let's look at it this way though. Where do children get the foundation? K1 through 12. In fact, from ABC to 5th grade. From ABC to 5th grade in Liberia, not free. But at the college level, when your foundation would have been ruined, when you don't know what you're doing, and so you say education is free.
K to 5th grade, not free in Liberia?
It is free, but you reduce the budget for the university. It's free, but there's no water to flush the toilet. It's free, but there's no constant electricity. It's free when the place is leaking, the zinc are off. Look, Randy, I will post in the coming days, even the election commission, the headquarters of the what do you call it, NEC, the place is ruined. It got mildew all on the wall. The letters on the wall, they're all broken. I have them in my phone. Since I came back, I am trying to understand how can people be this wicked. Look at these faces you got here. Vonnie Sherman. Listen, I knew Vonnie Sherman when I was growing up, when I was a little girl, when he came from the States. The place he was renting, I share a common fence with him. In fact, my daughter spent some time in Washington for the summer, and my brother was telling my little girl, they used to call me Road Runner. Our house had a veranda, but it was on top, like a flat top, that I would go through the steps. I would jump down when I wanted to run away. I got in trouble to go to my auntie's house or to my grandparents' house. I would actually jump over and this man, Sherman fence, run up the fence, jump down, and in the back, I would be to my auntie house. Okay. So I knew him. Um, and when we used to have the flicker of light, we had generator. And because my parents had a big generators, we used to supply him when that they was a stand, we call it standby those days. Okay, a standby when LEC go, that we always have electricity, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that I learned as a little girl, my uncle said that my uncle used to work for Chase Manhattan. And he worked not only in Liberia, but around the world in the South Sahara. And when they retired, when Chase was leaving Liberia, and they paid them in US dollar. And their retirement fund should have been in US dollars. That was my very first major experience with this man you call Vanny Sherman. Vanny Sherman represented Chase Manhattan. And he had always represented the foreigners, that Liberian people, let this be known. And this man direct the Liberian people who work for the money and said Chase should pay them in Liberian, in Doe coin, in Liberian dollar. And the people that went back and forth to court. In the end, they end up settling for half and half. So the people like him should never have been elected in the first place. Look at what is happening in Grand Cayman County, where he comes from. Look at the gold and diamond. They kill you when you speak. Just last year,
They're stealing it too.
Yes, they carried a helicopter, they landed there, and they take it out. King George, when the people stood up for themselves, they beat them down, they pepper sprayed them. I think they even killed a baby. They shot 2 persons. Did you hear your senator didn't talk about it? I played it. And if I'm speaking about that, I send that up there, but I need to send that to Nathan State, to your state too. That's the kind of government that Liberia has. Look at this man, Bill Traore. They say he used to be a school teacher. Man, you teacher cannot even get paid regularly. This man alone is stealing 1.5 million. That's just small. And I see people writing on Facebook and say and some people evil that some people hero. Your hero will end up in jail. We will jail him. And he died before them because he would die from heart attack. Stealing. Look at that thing they did. The little girl that won the Miss Liberia. He had been sleeping with that little girl since she was 15 years old. Okay. Wow. These people are molester, child molester. I'm saying it. Bill Traore is that the one that said she won. Okay. And in case themselves need to be very careful because they will carry stuff. She walks around threatening people. I will come on live for her. All right. Look at Serena Seafor. Serena Seafor and Randy, let me first of all acknowledge what you do for our community. I don't agree with you all the time. You don't agree with me all the time. But you and I both stand for the people. We bent out to protest for the War and Economic Crime School. We need it. Serena Seafor should never even be a prosecutor. He's a murderer.
Yeah.
This man is a G2 commander from Maryland who murdered people. Maryland was the one where those people then were killing people and writing their blood on the ground to intimidate people. All right. Serena Seafor was a murderer. He is a G2 commander. He killed people. How dare we are? Then it behooves us to start rethinking. How can anyone say we are is innocent of anything when he's so brave enough to surround himself with social rebel? Look at Cyril Allen. Look at Charles Bright. Look at Emmanuel Schultz.
Benin Ayure.
How in hell?
Yeah, people rip our country off. And
look at how tyrannical this young man Jefferson Koji is. He look at people and say we will meet in flesh and blood. I see he spilled blood. Remember the District 13 electoral violence that took place? That they lie. He didn't know people had recorded him in this digital age. He said he was not there. On a mobile Madu came on and said if Jefferson Koji were there, he would resign for his position. Jefferson Koji were not there. He came. Then later when the video surfaced, in fact, the picture first came out. They came and said he went there. He did a press conference. He went to the place to get his people there who went on the other side. Do Liberian people, even if they supported him at one point, do they not have freedom of movement? It is their constitutional right, a freedom of movement, a freedom to assemble, a freedom to associate. Does he not understand? Does he not don't understand this? Okay. Then the video surfaced where he's carrying weapon, okay, and chasing the people. Randy, are we on Facebook Live?
No.
Oh, okay. We're only on YouTube. Okay, great.
Well, YouTube, Twitter, and
all right, great.
Another site.
Okay, great. Now I will. When you send me the link, I got a link. I will share it, and then I will have people.
Send it to YouTube. I usually posted it.
Okay.
But it's the same thing because I was talking up. They report you for all kind of reasons. Whatever want you. It's just that the white people don't know our society. You know, and we gotta follow Facebook rules and all this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Some of the things that go on in the country, they use all these things to silence us.
To silence people, yes. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
But it's not working.
No, it's not working.
It's not working because the more they do this to the peaceful people who are talking, the other people who will rise up to speak will not be so peaceful.
Yep.
And I told them, I said, a wind of change is coming through Africa again. Remember in 1980, before the coup happened, there were coups in Ghana, Nigeria, all around Liberia, they were having coup. And that's why I told them that one I went and told my pa, who I told the general, I told him, be careful, the coup coming to Liberia too. He said, what do you mean? I said, when you see things happening in other African countries, it will happen in Liberia too. We are copycats. All other copycats. Once they work in other countries, they didn't believe me. That was the first time I told my father they were going to overthrow them. I said, you don't believe it, but when the coup happened, you'll be overthrown. The same thing happened now. You see what happened in Sierra Leone? They ran the government out of place. They ran the president. They took all the mansion, all of that. The same thing coming in Liberia soon. Let these people keep acting up and think that the Liberian people are afraid of them.
Right.
You just got to push the Liberian people to the wall and they will react. Because time will tell. People are tired. Like you said, people are hungry. People can't just be going around lost. You leave your house in the morning, it takes 3 hours to get to Monrovia from Painesville. Can you imagine that?
Yep.
How can we do anything in a country like that? You go to work in the morning, by the time you get to work, it's almost 12 o'clock. It's time for lunch.
Yep. That's true. That is true. That is so true. I mean, you sit in traffic forever, and people are telling you, be careful with this. Be careful with this. Don't carry this. Be careful with that. Don't carry this. Yeah.
The country is broken down.
Yeah.
Nothing can run because commerce, when the country is still, no commerce can run. Businesses are stagnant. People can't participate in anything good. Our country is just a mess right now. It's totally a mess, man. And you see the way it gets to me when we have rain and flooding and all these kind of things, and you see people's rooms and things flooded, and you know what in that water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what in that water.
Yep. Yep.
The children walk in it. The children playing in it. Oh, Lord. I mean, in health condition, man. Who will leave this country to go to a country where you got no health care?
You don't got no health care. You get sick. You on your own. You will die. In fact, the last time 2 children died in the house fire, and they say the only fire truck in the country is parked in Yahsyndi. The whole nation, the nation that pays her lawmakers.
Now look at your chairman husband the other day. Nobody could go there to help to put the fire out.
No. We used to call it fire brigade.
Yeah.
No fire truck.
This how it used to be in the 1960s when we were small, you could. It was still in that scene. This is what really hurts me. Our country is stagnant. We never grow. Look at
No,
from
no,
Rhode to Maryland to Grand
no,
Junction County. You can't
no.
even, now they're talking about Lofa County. The mud, people pushing cars in the mud. This is a modern day and age, man. When we're gonna get out of this stupidness? We're born being stuck in mud. We die being stuck in mud the same way in our own country.
In our own country. And Randy, the Lebanese people and the Indian people are the Lord and gospel. Even the way they draft in Liberia, they look at you like,
But the
I
people
mean,
trying to claim Liberian citizenship.
no, they will not be claiming because I'm not allowed to be citizen in Lebanon. There's something called reciprocity. Okay.
I'm telling you, one of them in Liberia claiming she's Liberian. And they had a
Well,
big,
we'll find out.
they
Those
had,
people are the mafia that are running our country. They have monopoly on everything.
they
I don't
stealing
know who
light, they
brought them to
stealing
our
water,
country.
they stealing
Okay.
everything.
How in the hell you come in my country and want to make me a second-class citizen? That's the same nonsense that they tell in South Africa.
Yeah.
And they did that for years
Because
with a barrel of arm.
they're paying all our government officials. When you can buy the government officials, you remember we used to go home, see the minister sitting in the Lebanese man's shop on a Saturday selling?
Exactly.
I mean, how if you see that kind of thing, what kind of shame and disgrace can we further see when our minister of government is sitting in a store of a Lebanese man selling, helping sell on a Saturday, acting like that his store too, and he going to sell for
The
them.
people have no dignity. The people have no sense of patriotism. You know, I heard Samuel Jackson, and I feel shame for that man.
He's a loser.
Okay, Samuel Jackson.
He's a grave seeker.
And the thing is, the wishy-washiness of him. One minute he was a kid when Doe took over, another minute he was the second vice president for Chase Manhattan. You were so young that you didn't know what you were doing, what you were telling people to do, but you were not too young to be a second vice president at the bank to make decision on behalf of Liberia. There is a problem with that. Okay. And he's calling people, who is the neocon here? The neocon here will be an oligarchy, will be the we are. Okay. I'm not running a private jet. Okay. I'm not wearing a $2,000 or $3,000 or $11,000 shoes. I'm not changing my clothes every day. You're not seeing this shirt on me over and over. And I earn my living, not off the back of the people. I didn't come to say I'm representing the people. And that's why not just the Liberian community in America or around the world, the Liberian community, because the larger community is Liberia. That what we must be careful how we choose our leaders. We must. We must, not just for us, because we ourselves will get a job for only we our children. That the larger community will benefit because there's something called collective wealth or community growth. I mean, collective growth. Your nation is respected. Your people are respected when your nation is respected. Your community is respected when a collective of you are respected. It's like if the whole Liberian community got only one person who come among them, we're a bunch of Liberian community that nobody have respect for. Why do you think the people respect the Italian community? Why do you think the people respect the Jewish community in this country when the people came to this country? They established businesses. The Nemo Marcos, the SAS Faith, okay, the Joseph A, the International School of Accreditation. All of these people, some of the big name brand that you see, okay, it came from them. And we just consume it. Consume them. When you tell them, oh, we want to do that thing there. Oh, we want to do this one.
Yeah, no
pride in labor. Get a rubber slipper in your country.
No pride in labor.
Biggie. And somebody say, oh, look at them. They're wearing fake Louis Vuitton. So what? So what? I don't even want the real one before I will say the fake one. Can I afford it? Hell yes. Hell yes, I can.
Well, Yahsyndi, it's that and the interview because it's so frustrating when we deal with our country and our people right now because right in America, the mentalities of our people here got to change. It got to start from America. If it doesn't start for America, our country will not change. When the people in America thinking like the people in Liberia, there is a serious problem. When the people in America
Oh,
behaving, the people
Randy,
in
I got breaking news, oh.
what?
I don't know if this is, but it's on the e-mention. President George Weah suspend designated official. Moreover, Liberia, the president of Liberia has received with serious concern a recent United States Treasury Department report which designates 3 of his officials for specialized sanction under the Global Magnitsky Act. President Weah viewed the allegation against the official contained in the report as grave. Um, in view of this, President George Manon Weah has suspended the names of the named officials, Minister of State Nathaniel McGill, the Managing Director of National Port Authority, Bill Trawe, Solicitor General Serena Cephas, with immediate effect. Let me tell you something. You all know, all in all, for the past 4 years that we have been in power, in fact, since the war, because Musadin was spokesperson for some of the rebel faction in the war. A lot of people don't know this. I know a lot about Liberia in the war. June was the first time in years that Musadin left the country. Musadin left the country to go meet with people. He needed to talk. They needed him to talk. You see, Liberian people need to understand this, though. America is not stupid. You know, people running around Alexander Cummings dating first, it was Yahsyndi. Many remember when we went to Nancy Pelosi office. Remember when we assembled in New York and we assembled in DC and also in DC twice?
Yeah.
Remember when we did that? The videos are out there. When I just came, remember I just came from DC when I went to Liberia. People was threatening me when I was there. And I got a call every day, every morning, every night. I thank God to some of the people that I work with that are up there and out there. And we knew this was coming. In fact, when Jefferson Koji was coming here the other day, in fact, when they, you know, when the guy Samuel Jackson, when they paid their lobbyings all that money, and they wanted Samuel Jackson to carry stream. But the people have to understand, the people who work for Congress, they're not stupid. Majority of the people in Congress are people who are established, people who have lived and led, people who are specialized. If you are on the legal committee, you are a lawyer. Majority of them have been judges before or corporate leaders. They're not dumb, who understand business processes and legal processes. Okay, they're not like y'all.
They know more than we.
Okay, they're not like y'all. Yeah. You take the person you put there. The security system you're using Liberia to communicate, I was just upgraded. They give it, the American government give it to you free. It's not free. You refuse to invest in your country. You want other people to invest in it. You don't have secret. We know what you're doing. They monitor everything. They have satellite in the country. Let me give you one story here why Liberia should think. When the people were murdered in Lutheran compound in 1990, when Tele them and Penu them, pack up many of the bodies or will be dead, and they were taking them to Robertsfield Highway and dumped them there. There were still a few of them that were still alive. The satellite picked them up. The American people followed them. They retrieved 2 of them that were still alive. My mom would know the 2 names. I wouldn't remember one because I was close to him. The reason I still remember his suffering. His name was Jimmy. They chopped Jimmy so much that Jimmy intestine, everything was hanging out. Dr. Adele and Dr. Biana, both, one was from EAW Hospital, one was from the American Emerson Hospital. You know what we can watch in a Western movie where they can pull stick in your mouth? Yeah. And then they start cutting you up, put liquor on it, start cutting you up. They had to put that stick in that man. We have to sit on his arm while they cut up his intestine that will rupture. to connect it and connect a colostomy bag. That's the first time I saw colostomy bag. I didn't even know what the name was. So the man eating the food processing and coming outside.
Wow.
So this is 1990. I want Liberian people to remember this, Randy. In 1990, there was satellite that could pick you up from the luxury compound, everything that you were doing. And you say, what? And today, in the digital age, and you think, and people say that me who on Facebook talking negative, that Randy who talking negative because he on Facebook. You don't see your people?
Leave them.
So you asked me about my background. My work has been honored. I have a resolution passed in my honor. When you go to the Georgia Congress, you will see, I think it's resolution. I can tell you my resolution number. Go find it. It's there. It's resolution number. Let me see. My resolution number is here. Where is that? I think this is it. It's resolution number 465. It's in my honor. That's one of them. I'm not going to call all. I'm a signatory to the Liberian Diaspora Day that became now Liberian African. Yeah, it used to be African Day at the Capitol. That became American Diaspora Day at the Capitol. That all diasporan around the world, those who came from different countries that are here, can celebrate. And it's put into law. I was one of those people who wrote a proclamation from my community. That's my accomplishment. My accomplishment, one of them in my community, is serving young women. We used to have something called the Miss Liberia in Georgia or Miss Junior Liberia. My job was to nurture, mentor them how to walk, how to talk, how to behave. The ladies, not just ladies, strong ladies, to be that. My mom used to say the highest position or name a female can reach is being a lady. When you're a lady, you are not just a convertible. You are a classic, a class act. You can come from your 5-inch stiletto to your barefoot and you will still make it. You can come from scratching the farm and you can walk into the mansion and you will navigate your way. So that was my volunteering and reaching out to older people. And all of you know, I've advocated since I was 13 years old, 1983, for women and children. And my job, I sleep with it, I wake up with it. And we continue to do that. Some of my mentees in Georgia have gone to become a grad school, PhD. In fact, I still have gone to weddings over the years, master's degrees. Some of them are state representative or working in governor's office, and they're doing. So my particular work continues, and I'm passing it on and paying it forward. And that's the essence of leadership. Power is not taken, it's always given. So that's the breaking news. We have suspended these people. He said pending the allegation. But let's establish command and control, right? Establishing command and control, we will assume, okay, at this point. In fact, we will surmise, we're not assuming. We will surmise that we are is the brain behind that. The Liberian people didn't elect Miguel. The Liberian people didn't appoint Sharina Sifers. The Liberian people did not appoint Bill Traore. He did. And the Liberian people have spoken and brought records. We are mean to tell me he didn't know that Miguel sent people for Matthew Innes when he was murdered. They make it home, took him with his laptop and took his car, and the EPS were driving his car and his body was deposited. I think they left that man alive. They cut out his organs and sew it, okay, and threatening his family not to speak. Does we not know that Zeno Matos were beaten until they told his wife to lie? Does we not know that Jefferson Koji had a woman in Bonkante and murdered her, and there were never investigations on where is the court paper? Where is the police report? 2018. Does we not know that over 900 Liberians were ripped from between May to August of 2020 that he promised to increase the investigation and volunteer to do an initial investment of $2 million to bring in to help support the gender ministry besides the millions the United Nations is giving and other donor countries are giving. Where is the money? Because we are not know every day a person is killed in Liberia or raped and sodomized. Because we are not know the majority, 90% of the cases of rape in Liberia are children below 12 years old. And they're not only rape them, sodomized boys and girls. So we are not know that Michelle was sodomized to the point that his intestine came out. He asked him out of the socket. Does he not know that? Does he not know that Princess Cooper vomited her whole internal organs when she was just running up and down teaching at a school? Does he not know that? Randy?
Well, anyway,
I think I would. Your girl has to go to work. So
I
tell
know.
me what's the next question?
We'll conclude this. What message you have for our audience?
The message I have for the audience is no king live forever, no kingdom lasts forever, but the kingdom of heaven. There was Todman, there was Torbert, there was Doe, there was Sawyer, there was Ruth Perry, there was Judy Bryant, there were Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and there was George Weah. George Weah's term will be over. And let me tell you something. It is not okay to treat your people the way George Weah had treated us. Whether a tribal man, whether he looked like your former president. It is not okay not to remember history, because those who remember history are doomed to repeat it. The reason in the free word, everything that happened in this country is available for you to learn from it. The Tuskegee, syphilis, war that they waged on Black people, the sterilization of Black women not to be able to have children, the slavery how Black people were treated, the Pearl Harbor, the Civil War in America, the Arlington Square Garden in Virginia was taken from one of the rebel leaders as a restitution. America had their own TRC, however you want to put it. We learned it. Our children start learning that. The Louisiana Purchase, the great negotiation for the Senate in both the North and the South that balance out having representation based on population, where you have the electoral college to balance out. And each state, no matter how small you are, having 2 senators for a minimum. All of these things are taught in elementary school. The Martin Luther King assassination, the Philip Asarander, the Malcolm X, when a Liberian president said, why you keep bringing the past? Because the past continue to hunt us. Let me chronicle a few things. When we killed Torbert in 1980, we said for rampant corruption, failure to answer to the need of the people in a timely manner, nepotism, sectionalism, those were the 4 high on the list of murdering Torbert. Although we said Doe didn't kill Torbert, granted, but Doe gave the command that killed the 13 people. Those 13 men, they were fathers. First and foremost, they were Liberians. They were sons. They were grandsons. They were grandparents of other Liberians. We would have put them in jail, but we rushed to kill them. Thereafter, less than 6 months later, these people killed one another one by one. Thomas Winston and 5 other people were murdered. 13 other people from that particular group were murdered under the dual-layer government, firing squad. I can still see them. I was a kid, but I remember them. We must speak truth to power. We must speak those history. We must teach it. So when tomorrow comes, the people learn where we've traveled, that we have traveled this path, that we will say never again, that the Jewish people did, never again. That Rwanda did, never again. That Bosnia did, never again. That South Africans are saying, never again. Nigeria, never again. Sierra Leone, never again. But we see Sierra Leone is struggling. And we know the struggle. Sierra Leone know where they want. We know the jobs are not coming fast enough, but they're coming. No Sierra Leonean is to be given in marriage under the age of 16. Or Sierra Leone children, tens of our girls now got free education. All right? But because they know where they want, they will press for more. And there's nothing wrong with pressing for more. We should always want more. It is in the nature of us to want more. So when you sit and says people are against we are, they don't let we are because it's from the Southeast. I have a heritage from the Southeast. So does Brandy Chesson. Okay?
Like Liberia, you have a heritage in every part of our country.
Yes. Liberia is too small. We are all connected. We are a degree of separation if we see each other that way. So let me say to you, no king live forever, but we are and his people will pay. We are alone, security in Liberia, that over 7 million. Then you got another 10 million. Then your wife got another million. Sapphoing the whole coffers. Liberians have become beggars. Majority of our people are begging. Our children are hopeless. Liberia is like a war zone. I lived through the war. And the anxiety that I felt being in Liberia, I never felt it. I was comfortable dying because I was a kid at the time. I had nothing really much to live for. I was just a child. Danger was not that dangerous to me. But at my age, in my 50s, where I have children, I have grandchildren, I have accumulated and built my own name and built my own wealth and worth. And people, I'm a fountain that people dream from. And I thought I had a lot at risk. It was too stressful being Liberia. It was scary being Liberia. Number one, the place is exceptionally dirty. And like I tell you, I will post videos later. In the coming days, I will play them and I will post them so the Liberian people can say it. We are saying he does not know. Those are allegations. We are saying he does not know that he alone getting $7 million just for his security in a no security country. We are saying he does not know he alone got $10 million in your budget. We are saying he does not know that his wife, who is now listed a part of the constitutional mandate, is getting $1 million and getting millions of dollars from the country, and say the woman told us she feels sorry for poor people, but she's taking millions of dollars from us so she can help us out. We're poor, but you're taking our money so you can help us out. That is ironic. So people of Liberia, I want to say thank you.
Yes.
And people of Rhode Island, I want to say thank you for speaking up to Pazare, Peter, and the rest of the team. Says Gifty, the Liberia First team. That's how we call the team. Liberia First. We come from across all party line. In position, no position, opposition. We came together to put Liberia first. And we will be descending on Washington on the 24th and the 25th of October. To the 24th United Nations Day. You people know that United Nations, Liberia was a founding member of United Nations. That's the day United Nations was funded.
Are you guys going to be putting out flyers?
Yeah, we will be putting the flyer today. We're also sending a letter to Washington. In fact, maybe by tomorrow. I was finishing a letter last night and I fell asleep because I was too tired. Yesterday was too exciting. So I'm telling you this, Randy, and maybe we need to do a quick plan to also be in New York, because they say we are coming to the how you call it. We are need to implement the War and Economic Crimes Court. He promised us that for 12 years. He must.
Okay.
He must.
Let's wrap it up.
My name is Yahsyndi Martin-Kpeyei. I am a daughter of the Republic of Liberia and the voice of the voiceless. I am an advocate for women and children and human rights. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. We're going to come back and talk before October, so
yes,
we can rally up the people to get ready for the march. Whatever you're playing there.
Yes, I will get us on here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yahsyndi, thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Yahsyndi Martin-Kpeyei, a community activist, and you heard her. So let me say goodbye to our people again? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tony Commander Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, I'm at Kpeyei's African restaurant on the other side of Providence. And she is right here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kpeyei McCann.
Now, Kpeyei has been here for a while, and this is one of our Liberian restaurants. So, Kpeyei, tell us how long you've been in this spot and why you decided to get into business.
I've been in this spot for 14 years now. I decided to open this restaurant because of helping people, going out and feeding the homeless, and we need a place where the food be cooked. And I opened this restaurant. Since then, I'm still at the same place, 850 Admiral Street.
So how has the community responded to your effort?
Well, the community has responded greatly to my efforts. I do successful feed the homeless, and people have embraced the business, and it led me to move forward to Liberia to open an orphanage for children in Liberia.
Wow, you have an
All
orphanage?
from this restaurant.
You're kidding me.
And because of the customer has been very nice to me and loyal to me, I was able to go to Liberia 3 weeks ago and open an orphanage in my late mother's name, Eugenia Bright.
Where is the orphanage?
In New Jersey, Rhode, Liberia.
Wow. So what message do you have for your customers?
Well, my customers are very loyal to me, and they are very faithful. They always help me when we're doing the backpack giveaway for children every year, which will soon be coming down end of the month. And then we give the food away, the turkey and chicken in November. And because of the customer, all the tips they leave, and all the encouragement helped me to promote this business and do what I'm doing moving forward. So I love my customers, I love my neighbors, and I love everybody in general.
We thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you too. Let the people see the delicious food you're fixing here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.